Hey everyone, Sean Tosh here, the mayor of Nerdtropolis, and I have a special guest with me today that I'm super excited to chat with. From Rocko's Modern Life to Reno 911, please welcome stand-up comedian, voice actor, and actor, Carlos Alazraqui.
Hello.
Hey Carlos, good to see you.
Nice to see you.
Thanks for making the time today. I know you have a busy schedule today. I see you're in your recording booth.
Yeah, I got my door open. It's out to the garage. That way it's a little bit cooler.
Yeah, for sure. The heat is on this summer for sure.
It's coming.
Well, first things first, congrats on your return as Deputy James Garcia on Reno 911 for Quibi.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. That was a lot of fun. We got it in just under the wire too. Finished on February 28th. And then a couple weeks later, that's it. We're shutting down. So we got
y'all started this year, correct, to film?
Yeah, February 8th through 28th or something like that.
For sure. Very quick turnaround.
Oh, yes.
How long was this revival in the works?
They've tried for a couple of years. They tried with Netflix to try to work out something between Comedy Central and Netflix and other platforms. And then they just weren't finding it easy. And then Quibi came along and said, yeah, we'll give you this and give you that. And they said, great, short form. Let's do it on Quibi. So that's how it happened.
Yeah, I think Quibi works best, actually. I was watching the episodes and each, segment of each episode works perfectly for Quibi. Yeah. And they're very short and to the point.
Yeah. Right in their format. You can just pop those little those calls in one after another and it just works really well.
Yeah, I love it. This new season is hilarious. I had to show my parents when it came back because we used to watch it back in the day. And we missed it for sure.
Yeah. It was a long time coming.
So right now you're currently working on a Spongebob spinoff. Is that correct?
Yeah, Camp Coral, and playing a couple of different characters on there. And I got a session today with Tom Kenny, who's the director, as well as SpongeBob. And it's just fun to be back with those guys because I work with them on Rocko and on SpongeBob. And I got to stand like this up in this area. You'll hear about soon enough. You talk like this. And then a couple other characters, and it's really, really well done. It's kind of a hybrid for me. It's got a little bit of Camp Laszlo in it, SpongeBob in it, and it's really well done.
So how are you transitioning to working in voice acting from home?
I got this little hype mic system going on and a little pop screen, and I already had the whisper booth, but I added some, some furniture pads on shower curtains. I closed this back door. I put some padding on this baby, and it gets a little hot. I have to get some circulation system in here. I got a portable AC unit, but then I can cover this with a blanket if I need to. And I got engineers helping me out. I do Source Connect, I do Zoom, I Blue Jean, all kinds of different programs that we run. QuickTime files for backup, and it's working out great. It's working out really well, actually.
So you're a high-tech MacGyver now, it seems like.
Well, if you count me running 300 feet of Ethernet cable out from my modem to my garage is high tech. I didn't do it today. We're just going strict Wi-Fi. So far, so good.
And you kind of just fell into voice acting, if I'm correct. You're doing stand-up, and you just got a call to submit some voiceover reels.
Yeah, for Rocko's Modern Life. I was living in San Francisco, but doing a comedy club in Sacramento at the time. I made a push, play, record in a kitchen, got invited to the audition, and showed up at this house in a garage in San Francisco. And it's kind of just trying different voices. I said, what about this voice? It kind of looks like this to me. They said, yeah, let's try that. And then, they sent it off to Nickelodeon. Nickelodeon said, yeah, we made a pilot. And then we waited like 6 months or 7 months when it was being done. And then they said, yeah, it's going to go to series. And I was like, oh my gosh, unbelievable. Right place, right time. And that kind of pulled me right out from stand-up comedy. I still did it, but it transitioned me into voiceover work.
Yeah. And Rocko just returned last year with the Netflix movie. And so how did you find out that he was returning?
Boy, because we did the first record in 2016, actually. So around late 2015, we're at a restaurant with a social media manager, and I saw Doug Lawrence, Tom, and Martin Olson, and Cosmo, and Joe Murray coming in to meet for lunch. I'm like, what's going on here? There's too many Rocko people here for this not to be. And they, keep it under wraps. We're going to write a new Rocko thing. And I'm like, all right, it's amazing. So I found out in 2015. We recorded in 2016 in November, 2017 Comic-Con, and then waited 2 years for it to be released 2019 on Netflix. So
is there hopes for a series now with the movie out?
That there's always hope for that. I think Joe Murray right now is living in Belgium. Not that one couldn't direct a series from there, but that's always your hope, right? That Static Cling does so well, and Nickelodeon wants to revisit. I heard Comedy Central was interested in revisiting with Ren and Stimpy. It was something
that was announced today. So I'm hoping that also brings revival to a lot of 90s cartoons from Nickelodeon and finding a Comedy Central.
Yeah, I think they're just going to run the old ones, right? It's going
to be a brand new series.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's a brand new series. Keeping the spirit along with the 90s edition, but it's brand new, actually.
That's good. Yeah, because that was really instrumental. And, I don't know if Christopher Lucy's still attached, but certainly from his mind and Billy West and then Bob Camp, who was my former neighbor, taking over the show. It was just a really iconoclastic show, and it really paved the way for Rocko, especially the first couple of seasons where we could get away with a lot of stuff because of Ren and Stimpy. The stuff that they were doing was groundbreaking, and we just kind of went on their tails. But those 90s cartoons, people revere them, and who knows, maybe there would be a call for Rocko on Netflix or some other network. And I would love to play Rocko again for sure, because getting to play him instead of Kling was great. And the way they handled the new world and the character that made the big change, if nobody's seen it yet, I don't want to give it away, but it's been out there for a while. But there's they handle it gracefully, and that's what's cool about Rocko and his gang. They can go anywhere and pretty much adapt.
Yeah, I was obsessed with that show as a kid. Me and my sister used to watch it. We loved it. Did you have a favorite cartoon character growing up?
Even though he was nonverbal, I loved the Pink Panther because he was so cool. I love Popeye. I love, you know what? I said somebody, because it was a one answer thing. It was Kimba the White Lion. And I didn't even know what anime was. And I watched Speed Racer, but there was something heroic about this Kimba the White Lion. And it really reminds me of fond memories of coming home from school and turning on the TV. So Kimba, because he was just so heroic. I had no idea that was translated or dubbed or anything. I just like, oh, the lip flaps are a little off, but I still like it.
Yeah, and as a kid, did you imitate these voices that you were watching these cartoons, or did that come later on?
Hey, Bubba Louie, me, quick drum. Oh, quick throw, here comes the gunfighter. Yeah, all that stuff. And, hey, boom, Mr. Ranger, sir. I don't know, Yogi, I think it's kind of dangerous. We all did that, Don Messick and all those guys. And again, that trick never worked this time for sure. And I'm Commander McBragg. A long time ago, I was surrounded in the forest by wild creatures. So, and now Edward Everett Horton, Fractured Fairy Tales. In a castle a long time ago, there lived a king, and he had a son, but the son wasn't very nice. Come on, Dad, give me what I want. So he decided to build a pit and throw his son in the pit. I didn't know it, but I was born or bound to emulate and copy all these wonderful voices I was hearing on the screen. So yeah. I came home and just soaked it all up.
Yeah, it seems to come natural to you. You do a lot of campy and fun characters. I think the one that stands out to me the most is Bane, and you've done that a few times. So how did that happen? How did you land that role, and how did you come up with the voice for Bane?
All courtesy of Andrea Romano, because I was not really familiar with the comic book world per se, and I did not know that Bane was such an instrumental part of the Batman lore. He said, we're going to go after the American Bane. That's where he's from. He crawled out of that cave somewhere in Latin America, South America. And so, my parents are from Argentina, and they said, make him guttural, make him deep. We'll add some little effect on it. But it was like, right when we met the first time, I broke the man. Today, I break the bat. And so that was born from Andrea Romano's direction, and I was really lucky to be doing it, and I've done it a couple of times for a couple of different Batman ventures. So that's how it happened.
Yeah, and it's a great voice, and you bring a lot of life to Bane, and we finally get some awesome animated version of him that we love.
Yes.
What else are you working on right now? What's some other projects that are in works for you?
The lovely Casagrandes, currently running on Nickelodeon. I play Carlos Casagrande and Sergio the Parrot. Oh, my goodness. And Vito Filipponio. Hey, you guys got any money? It's a great show with Bella Alvarez, Alex Caceres, Roxana Ortega, Ruben Garcia. Leah Gold, Sunil. I always forget Sunil's last name. Somali as well. I want to say it's Somali Montana. Why do I want to say it's Montana? Somali Montana. But I'll look it up and shame on me. But we have a great cast. It's a fun show. It's on Nickelodeon. Maya and the Three, working again with Jorge Gutierrez. That will come out fall 21 on Netflix. I've been doing some scratch work for Monsters at Work, continuing to do my Billy Crystal stuff, which is cool. I did Kingdom Hearts 3, which the game came out, and I got to play Mike Wazowski. Of course, Billy is the original, but I was lucky enough to do him in a game. Oh my gosh, we got to get to the other level. What's going on, Sully? Come on. Trece, which is a Filipino graphic novel, which is being recorded both with a Filipino cast and an American cast. I play Anton and a couple of other characters in that. And then my movie, Witness Infection, which was self-financed, and we shot it in 15 days. You can go to witnessinfection.com and check out our reviews, check out the film festivals that we've won, and we're in the middle of distribution deals. And so I'm working on all those things, but I'm pretty happy. It's been done some good American Dad episodes, some Family Guy. I did a little quick episode of Duncanville. So I've been busy. I've been in my booth and been pretty lucky.
I mean, you're one of the best in the business. So everyone comes to you, when they need some voiceover work.
Yes.
Is there a character that you always wanted to do that you didn't get to do for voiceover, or something that kind of caught your attention that you didn't get to do?
Oh gosh, all kinds of characters, I suppose, right? When you look at the big features, like Sonic the Hedgehog, and of course Roger Craig Smith does the series. I got to play the first bug in a Bug's Life. I'm lost, and I got to play "Come Fly with Me, Gachinha" in the Pixar film about all the emotions, and I always Inside Out. I'm trying to think. I would have loved to have been a solid or regular character on SpongeBob. Would have been fun. Like if Scooter could have been a regular character. Oh, SpongeBob, you ripped your pants. Oh, hey, I'm hanging out with Mr. Krabs today. If I could have taken that and done him on a regular basis, that would have been a dream of mine for sure. Mr. Weed, Mr. Weed, Peter, you're fired. I wish he could have lasted more than one season. So, those two, wish I could have carried those on.
How did you meet Tom Kenny? Because you kind of gave him his career he has today.
Yeah, he admitted it. I met Tom Kenny in San Francisco when he was a stand-up comic and I was a stand-up comic, and he was brilliant. He and Bob Kath were friends, and Dana Gould and all those guys. He was really great at stand-up, a great musician. And I knew that he did characters in the act. And so when they were looking for a heifer, I said, oh, you should check out Tom Kenny. And he said he did a voice of his nephew who always laughed like that. And he came in with a heifer voice, and the rest is history. So if I were a true Hollywood guy, I would go, I discovered Tom Kenny. No, he was going to be discovered regardless. I just happened to know that he was available, and it's kind of a nice story.
And during this pandemic now, are you watching a lot more TV and movies that you would usually do?
Yeah, I'm soaking it up. I'm actually watching a lot of Quibi, and I've seen a lot of series. I just finished Die Hard. I've seen Agua Donkeys. I've seen Most Dangerous Game. I've finished Murder House. I've finished what's the girl? Oh, Fight Like a Girl. I've seen so many series on Quibi that I really like it. It's a great format for me. I love Dead Girls. I love Dead Girls 2. I love a wonderful show called Love on the Spectrum, which is in Sydney, Australia. I'm watching a show on Netflix about the woman who fixes up people in India and in America, fixing up Indian people. I love The Alienist, because I was a huge Penny Dreadful fan, and those two shows just take me to a different time. So I love The Alienist, big fan of that show. And I really, Penny Dreadful, I like the new series, not as much as the old series. Peaky Blinders finished. So my wife and I watched Dateline. I love the German show called Dark, about time travel and It's wonderful. So yes, I'm watching as much as I can, but I cram it in at the end of the day when the kids are asleep. I never watch during the day. So, and I watch sports.
Like you watched everything so far.
Yeah. I can recommend many shows, but pandemic, we keep us inside, watch movies at home. I watched part of Hamilton and I realized that I need to go to Wikipedia and learn the history and also turn the subtitles on because it's brilliant and I'm missing a lot of it. So I want to go back and start from the beginning and not just appreciate King George's performance, but all the stuff that Lin-Manuel Miranda put together, I think is brilliant. It's just like, I'm old, I can't keep up with the lyrics. You're talking too fast. Why does it have to be a rap? So, we're loving Disney Plus. We'll probably pay the money for Mulan because that's going to be exciting. My kids love it. We watch stuff together. Catching up, man. Catching up.
Going back to where we started with Reno 911, how did that come about originally back in the day?
Back in the day, 2001, I just finished a movie called I Downloaded a Ghost. You can find it somewhere with Ellen Page. I played her ghost, looking to escape purgatory to get to the next world. She needed to win a haunted house contest and convince her parents that she is a tomboy and she likes making creatures in her garage. And that was our deal. And I came home after that. And in that December, there was an audition for Ben, Tom, and Carrie. I had not known them from the state, which was a blessing because I would have been nervous. And I went in a room and I did my 3 characters. And they said, great, we're going to hire you for this sketch group. I went to a studio. I went to network. We did a table read. Cedric, Nisi, Carrie, Ben, and Tom, and Amy Brissette was there. It was not Wendy yet. They passed on the table read. They said, we have a week to think of something. We're going to make fun of cops, go home and think about a character. So I thought about uptight, Barney Fife, self-loathing. I had a roommate in college named Dan Garcia. Oh, doggone, Carlos. Mexican-American, but listened to country music, married an Irish woman. And I thought, let me belie his Latino roots and make him kind of an uptight white guy, play by the rules kind of guy that, not too certain about other cultures, but we'll see what comes of him. And we just started riffing in a soundstage with the SNL director, Beth McCarthy. We shot a pilot in San Pedro, California in 2001, presented it to Fox. They passed on it. And about a year and a half later, Ben, Tom, and Carrie went to Tom Sharp at Comedy Central, and he says, what do you got? We got this. Gave him the pilot and said, let's do it. And so we reshot the pilot. And then they picked it up and went to series in 2003.
Were you all surprised at how popular it got really quick and also spawned a movie?
Not really, because when we were doing it, the original pilot, the crew was laughing. The gaffers were laughing. The electricians were laughing. The craft service was laughing. The ADs, the interns or whatever, they were all laughing, and we knew we had something good. So, yeah, when it went to a movie so quickly, that was surprising because it was like a 3-movie deal too, hoping like, oh gosh, I hope this movie does great. And we went up against Hog Wild with William Macy, John Travolta, yeah. I think Steve Buscemi and Ray Liotta, and that movie, it was it wasn't the opening we hoped for, and so the three movie deal never happened. But people love Reno 911 Miami. They still quote it. We get to be in Miami. We get to wear the blue and white. We get to drive in Mustang cars, dive off a boat in Long Beach or whatever, and act with Paul Rudd. And, it was great. It was a great experience.
Seems like it was a vacation for y'all.
Oh, absolutely. It was awesome.
During this pandemic right now, go ahead.
A plane ride over to Miami, and we were going to make a move. I think it was the plane ride to, or was the plane ride from? I think it was a plane ride to Miami. This woman gets on a plane with a huge bodyguard, and the flight attendant said, sir, can you get up from your seat so we can let this person in? I'm like, well, it's first class. Normally they just, okay, whatever. Bodyguard goes back to coach, takes up one whole section, and she covers herself. I say hello. And during the flight, people are like, can you get her autograph? I'm like, what's going on? And somebody said, that's Beyonce. You're sitting next to Beyonce. And I talked to her a little bit. When we landed, I said, listen, these people want me to bug you, but I just said that you were sleeping. She's like, oh, thank you. Like, what are you doing? At that point, she was doing Dreamgirls or something. And nice conversation, nice mini conversation, nice person. And I had no idea I was sitting next to Beyonce for a 5-hour flight. So that was pretty cool.
That's a very cool story. That's a very rare moment.
Yeah.
And do you think, is Reno 911 going to come out with more episodes, or do you know what's going on with that?
Yeah, we did shoot more footage for which we were remunerated. So that is the hope that more material that we did shoot will be in addition to the 12 that have 12 or so that have already aired. So they should be coming out with more. That's what I understand. I don't have a definitive on that, but I'm pretty sure they will. And then
Well, hopefully, because we're all looking forward to it.
Yeah, you always hope that would lead to a series. Again, like Netflix would say, let's pick it up again, or Comedy Central would say, like Ren and Stimpy, let's pick it up again. You never know. You just show up and you stay in shape so you can fit in the uniform and see what happens. I mean, I'm a little bit wider in the hair than I used to be, so I got to do some hair dye.
Before I let you go, let's say if Rocko returned in 2020, what type of advice would he give us during the current pandemic to keep us busy and stay upbeat?
Oh, I know it's hard to wear a mask, but you can always talk with your eyes. And think about it. I've got a pouch on my belly because I'm a marsupial. It's kind of like I have a pouch on my face. And really, you only have to wear it when you're buying groceries or going inside. So it's not so bad. And pass the time with your friends. Play fun games like Spank the Monkey or other fun things. Say hello to your neighbors at a distance. Have a picnic. Have play dates. Go out and sit in the shade.
That was great, Carlos. I really appreciate it. This was a great interview.
Thank you, Sean.
And this was a lot of fun, actually, during this time.
Yeah, it is. And I love all your stuff behind you and that you collect things. And I think it's wonderful. And then I'm lucky, to be a part, like I said, to be a part of Rocko, to be a part of Reno, to be a part of Bane. I didn't know, and I miss cons. So this is like a con for me where I get to see people and answer questions, and you realized how much people love what you do. And here's a story I'll end on. When I never understood per se how people could get so excited about like maybe a voice that you did, like, oh my God, you're Spyro the Dragon, you're the first Spyro. And I'm like, well, it's just a game. Until one day, the only Sony Xbox game I know how to play, or Xbox, is Left 4 Dead and Left 4 Dead 2. And I knew Vince Valenzuela was Francis in the first Left 4 Dead. But so then I started playing Left 4 Dead 2. So I'm fine. I love the game. I'm pretty good at it. And then I'm talking to Fred Tatasciore, who I'm sure you know, and D. Bradley Baker. And we're just talking in the lobby of Salami Studios. And I'm like, oh, I'm not really good. I can only play Left 4 Dead 2. And they're like, Fred goes, I play Boomer in that. And D goes, yeah, I played the Spitter and the Smoker. And I'm like, no way. And I totally fanboyed out. Oh my God, you're Boomer. There's no way you're not the Spitter. Of course. And I got it. I got now why people get so excited, because you spend so much time with these characters that you want to know the person behind it. And so that made me understand, like, it's a big deal to people. It's a big deal that I know Fred Tatasciore and D. Bradley Baker, who play the Spitter and Boomer in Left 4 Dead 2. You have no idea. So I get it.
Yeah, and you've been in so many things. You've been a part of a lot of people's lives, especially mine. There's a lot of things that you've been part of and voiced, and it's a big list. Good. So it's always great to talk to that person that's always been around for a long time.
Well, good. I appreciate it. I really do.
I'll let you get back to your voice recording. I know you got plenty more to do. They're working you to death.
Putting me in the hot box.